Alright, so in this tutorial we're going to talk a little bit more about how we can customize this navigation bar and view our Canvas course as a student. So I've logged into my course, and in the navigation bar I'm going to want to go all the way down to the Settings tab, which you'll notice I have to actually scroll down right now to get to Settings. So I'm going to go to Settings, and of course we know this area, we came here in the last tutorial, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this tab here for navigation. And you'll notice that this gives me a long list of all of the items that are found in my navigation bar. And you'll notice it gives you instructions. You can drag and drop items to reorder them in course navigation, but additionally, if I want to hide an item from a student, I can drag it down here. So there are a lot of items here that I actually don't want in my navigation bar. So I'm going to start moving some of them. The redirect tool, NetTutor, ProctorU. Okay. Now, understand, if you hide them from students, it doesn't mean you won't be able to access them. So some of these I don't actually want my students to have access to. So I'm going to drag attendance. I'm going to leave the chat. I'm going to go ahead and move collaborations out of here. Again, yours may differ. I'll leave modules. I'm going to drag quizzes. That might seem like an odd choice, but I'll explain it in a second. Outcomes, I will leave syllabi. Remove files. Remove pages. People, I'll leave grades, I'm going to remove discussions, remove assignments, and I will leave announcements. Okay, so this is looking pretty good to me, and I'm going to reorder a couple of things. I want my announcements first, I want my syllabus second, I want my modules third, chat there, and then finally grades. And this of course is all after home. So I've reordered this navigation bar. And here's the really important part. If you don't save, it's not going to make these changes. I'm going to save it, and you'll notice that this navigation bar for me, the instructor, has already gotten shorter, which means now it's going to be a lot easier for me to move around and do things in my class. Now, one other thing I want to note. You'll notice that some of these buttons here are white and some of them are gray. The gray buttons in your navigation bar are going to be the buttons that are associated with items where you haven't generated any content. So I currently don't have any modules, I don't have any assignments, discussions, people, pages. These are all the areas where I can actually create content, and I haven't yet created content. So once I create my first module, as we're going to find in the next unit, then this is going to no longer be gray, instead it's going to be white. Okay, but I'm not interested in that right now, so this is going to make it easier for me to work throughout my course. But the other thing I want to show you now is how to actually see what the student is going to see. So I told you the student should only be able to see these 6 items here. So to see student view, you're going to want to make sure you're in settings, and then when you're in settings, you're going to come over here to this button titled student view, and you're going to click it. That is then going to generate the course in the student view, and you'll notice that when I do this, I now only see 4 items: home, syllabus, chat, and grades. Now, you may be scratching your head and saying, well, wait a second, didn't you say you left announcements and modules in the student navigation bar? And you're absolutely correct. But remember how they were grayed out when I was in my instructor view because I hadn't generated any content for them? Well, because I hadn't generated any content for them, they're not going to show up here right now. I don't have any published modules. I don't have any published announcements. But once I do, those will appear here for students. So as we move forward and we start looking at module generation and announcement generation, I'll be sure to jump back into student view to show you what this is going to ultimately look like. Okay? So here I am in student view. If I want to reset the student view, that is reset any activities I participated in or anything like that, I simply click on reset student. And if I want to go back to the instructor view, then I click on leave student view. Okay, and they put it in pink so that you're aware that this is indeed your student view. Okay, so there we go. So let me go ahead and leave the student view and go back to instructor. And here I am back in my instructor view, and I'm going to again go to settings and just take you right back to where we were before. And that is going to be in navigation. So again, if I want to, I can drag these and change their order, or I can drag them out of here and I can hide them. Additionally, there are multiple ways to do this. I can actually disable or move as well by clicking the cog here. So you have a multitude of different options. Okay? So that is how to customize your navigation bar and get into the student view.